answer for the Celtics' depth concern at center? Go on ahead. Think about it for a second. Time's up. The answer, of course, is Neemias Queta. I have been saying this since the preseason. This man needs more minutes. I am your host of Celtics Today, Allie, Barefoot. Producer Smitty is right here to my right, and the Celtics did beat the Atlanta Hawks last night, and Neemias Queta was a huge help in that win. When you take a look at his scores, no, they're not going to punch you in the face that they were just that amazing. All right, but he had 7 points. He had 10 total rebounds. And better yet, he did all this in 15 minutes. Neemias Queta saw the smallest window opening with Kristaps Porzingis out, and he took some of Luke Kornet's time, and he said, I'm going to do something with it. And that's the kind of player the Celtics have been looking for. Because did you know that in the past 4 games, the Celtics have been offensively out-rebounded, 57-36. Well, last night, with the help of Neemias Queta, they offensively out-rebounded the Hawks 18-11. Now, Big Al had one of the best games he's had all season long. Horford had 15 total rebounds, but his protege, Neemias Queta, had 10. I love it. You know, obviously, without Porzingis, it hurts the Celtics. But Luke Kornet was not helping. I don't know if Neemias Queta will continue to do this throughout his career, but I hope this is a player he is because I've loved everything that I have seen. And when Neemias Queta spoke on what he can do well on the court, he said, I think that's a little bit of what I bring to the table. Being an offensive rebounder, being able to crash or attack a second defender to you on the offensive glass. I feel like it's just one of those things I can help with. With all these guys, we all emphasize crashing. So it's coming along really well for us. I have said this since the beginning of the season. Jason Tatum needs help in the rebounding category. Jason Tatum is dropping over 30 points a night. Kristaps Porzingis is 7'3". But there's not a lead rebounder other than Tatum. If Neemias Queta says crashing is his best attribute, let it happen. Because last night, Joe Mazzulla actually played Neemias Queta more than Luke Kornet. And like I said, Joe Mazzulla gave him the platform to take a little bit of Kornet's minutes to see what he can do. And he definitely proved why he should be having more minutes than Luke Kornet. You guys know I have almost lost my breath defending Neemias Queta. Play him, Joe Mazzulla. So with that being said, you guys, of course, already know my answer to this question. Which player would you rather see as the primary backup center for the Celtics behind KP and Al Horford? Boom, boom. I'm putting Neemias Queta at third and Luke Kornet at fourth. I've said this from day one. I love what Neemias Queta can bring on defense, and we saw last night what he can bring on offense as well by cleaning the glass. Plain and simple, I'm typing NQ, but type it down below whether you not want Luke Kornet, type LK, Neemias Queta, type NQ. Because you got to give a little bit of credit here to Joe Mazzulla. Well, a lot of credit here to Joe Mazzulla. He said he was going to switch things up, and I love that he's doing that. But will he stick to his word? That's what I'm most intrigued about. Now, when you say you want to see these players come off the bench and actually provide minutes and do something and give them a chance to prove themselves, if they've proved themselves, like I think Neemias Queta has last night with 10 rebounds in 15 minutes, does that mean you're going to go back tomorrow against the Bulls and play Luke Kornet for 20-plus minutes even though Neemias was the better player? That's what I want to see what Joe Mazzulla will change moving forward because it's plain and simple. You want to know what else is simple? Our sponsor here on Celtics Today, which is Factor. Factor Meals is a super and easy, convenient source to get a nice, fresh meal that you don't even have to cook. That's music to my ears. With Factor's fresh, never frozen meals, you can skip all the fuss and get straight to the good stuff. And you can try it out now for 50% off factormeals.com/NBAchat50. These meals are delivered right to your door and they're ready in just 2 minutes because professional chefs have already made it for you. So all you have to worry about is heating it up and enjoying your food. You can choose from 35-plus weekly flavor-packed meals that support a healthy lifestyle and adhere to your preferences. For example, you know I'm kind of a picky eater. I got tummy issues, so getting to choose from a handful of meals that suit me best, it's a huge help. Plus, no prep or mess. I love to hear it, especially around the holidays time. I don't want to go to the grocery store multiple times. I don't want to make multiple trips and prep a lot of food that I'm probably going to waste. So I'd rather just have a ready-to-go meal in 2 minutes, and you can too. All you have to go is go to factormeals.com/NBAchat50 and use code NBAchat50 to get 50% off. Once again, just use code NBAchat50 at factormeals.com/NBAchat50 to get 50% off. So speaking of impressive players that came off the bench versus the Atlanta Hawks, because once again, the Celtics did not have Kristaps Porzingis, did not have Jrue Holiday, so they had to pull from their depth. And of course, Sam Hauser has played a lot for the C's when those players go down, but instead, Dalano Banton got his first career start. So I'm not necessarily comparing these players in the sense of who's better. I think this is more of comparing these two players to see what the C's have to work with. Because when you got Hauser playing, 12, 13 more minutes than Dalano Banton, they both can shoot baskets and score and be aggressive on offense, but I really like their defense. 5 rebounds for Dalano Banton, 4 rebounds for Sam Hauser. They really do a good job of just serving as an extra body. I don't think they're going to be Jrue Holiday level of good, not at least at this point in their career, but when they're on the floor, Mazzulla has trust in them, then I do too, and I think they have a good sense of what needs to be done on that court. And when Joe Mazzulla talks about starting players off the bench, he said really just looking for an opportunity and giving those guys a fair chance to play. I thought both these guys did a great job. Credit to our development staff and keep them ready. But those guys come in every day. They never know when they're going to play, and their name was called. Well, that's what you want from your bench. Hey, man, next man up. And what's funny is I actually saw on Twitter that the bench calls themselves the Stay Ready Crew. I love it. I love all the team chemistry that's happening on the Celtics right now. So go ahead and spam your 3-leaf clovers, or your shamrocks, I guess, down below to give them some love. The entire Celtics organization, while we do love the starters, we have to love the bench, even Luke Kornet when he doesn't play as well as you want him to. Go ahead and put your shamrocks down below to show the C's some love. And when I said that Joe Mazzulla is sticking to his word, I really meant it. I want to break down what we've talked about since the preseason. Do you remember when everybody was like, oh my gosh, is Jrue Holiday going to start? Is Derek White? Is Al Horford? Well, on October 23rd, Joe Mazzulla told reporters, look, by 20 to 30 games in, you're going to stop asking me what the starting lineup is because we're going to have so many different options that we can work with. Well, we're 17 games in, and he's held on to that promise. So October 27th, there was a players meeting to discuss what their roles were going to be. And then, of course, after that, they did have their first switch up for the roster, and that was Al Horford had to start because Derek White was gone, and then Dalano Banton just had his first start. Well, Joe Mazzulla has used 6 different lineups over the course of 17 games. And this is not necessarily volunteering to put those guys out there. It's because we do have some injuries on the Celtics right now, which that happens. And you'd rather it happen in November than happen in May. So I'm okay with going through the motions right now and figuring out who works well and who doesn't. But considering he's already done 6 lineups, who's to say he can't put out some more? Who is somebody you would like to see in the Celtics starting 5? I don't necessarily want to put somebody like Neemias Queta in the starting 5 because then that means we're down Al Horford and we're down Kristaps Porzingis. Now, I don't want to be there. But I would like to see somebody like Dalano Banton just get more reps as, rest games come and you have to adhere to injuries. So I like Dalano Banton. I think he could be a good fit in there. So that's probably going to be my comment of who I would like to see in the Celtics starting 5. But of course, you know the drill. Go on ahead and put it down below of who you would like to see. Because like I said, this is not going to be a normal practice. Do not get comfortable seeing Dalano Banton's name every day on Twitter about the starting lineup. When KP and Holiday are back, they will go back into the starting lineup where they belong. They are one of the best players we have on this team. So that will go back to normal. Everybody knows the drill. We're just talking about how the C's do have good enough depth to be a reliable option. So Joe Mazzulla did give an update about those injuries today after practice, and Chris Forsberg put out on Twitter saying, Joe said this about Jrue Holiday. He went through a workout on the court today, and he was doing a little bit better. Now, of course, Jrue Holiday does have a sprained ankle, and then Kristaps Porzingis has a calf strain. And Joe did say about Kristaps, we're just taking it day by day. He seems to be getting a little bit better. It's just dependent upon when he feels good. So, of course, they're going to have to reevaluate moving forward, and they're going to have to go with day by day for Kristaps Porzingis, and they're going to reevaluate him in about a week or so. With calf injuries, with leg injuries, that kind of stuff, you really have to take it day by day, and ankle injuries are also nothing to mess with. So overall, I'm okay with this news. Once again, you want them to be healthy in the playoffs. I'd love to see him play right now, but I wouldn't push it. But when you've got people like Banton, like Queta, like Hauser, you've got a solid depth. Could we always have better backup? Yeah, you always could. But I'm okay with what I saw from Neemias Queta last night, and Dalano Banton held his own. So this won't be the permanent starting five, but it's nice to know the C's have a viable front court option, especially up against teams like the Atlanta Hawks and the Chicago Bulls. The Celtics play the Bulls tomorrow night in the TD Garden, and your favorite host and producer of Celtics Today will be live starting at 7:15 Eastern Time is our pregame special. We're going to break down Zach LaVine, Alex Caruso going up against Derek White and Jason Tatum. We absolutely are excited. We want you guys to be a part of it. So if you guys are planning on joining our watch stream tomorrow night, which it does start at 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time, go on ahead and comment down below banner 18 because Smitty and I are going to use our little technology magic, and we're going to give 5 random people who comment a shout out. So if you want to get a shout out on our watch party tomorrow, all you have to do is comment down below banner 18, and be sure to turn on your notifications because we will be going live at 7:15 tomorrow Eastern Time for the Celtics versus Chicago Bulls game.